One of the motifs of President Obama's State of the Union address was the need for the government to get more involved in various aspects of American life to help solve some of the problems that the nation faces. One of these is housing. There are the predictions out there that 2012 will see an increase in home foreclosures. So one of the questions in front of Congress and the president is whether the government should try to get more involved to keep these foreclosures from happening, or just let the free market system work as it will. Well, we asked the American public that question recently. We said, what do you think? Should the government get involved in this foreclosure situation, or should the government not take any further steps but let problems in the housing market be resolved on their own? And you see the data there in front of you. 58% say better if the federal government takes steps, and 34% says better if the government does not. So here again, in isolation, we have the American public tilting, at least, a majority of Americans saying yes, the government should get involved. By the way, what percent of Americans own a home rather than renting? Well, our latest number is 66%. That's roughly where it's been over the last decade, sometimes a little higher, once slightly lower than that. You'll be interested to know that home ownership peaks in that age group right in the 50s. It's actually a little lower among Americans who are 65 plus. And of course, home ownership, this is no great surprise, is quite low among Americans who are 18 to 29. Also, whites in America, 73% of Americans who identify their race as white own a home. Non-whites, it's only about 46% who tell us they own a home. There's also a big difference by income. Again, not a surprise. Americans who make $75,000 or more a year, 83% own a home. Less than a third of those who make under $20,000 a year own a home. And there is a political dimension to this. Again, that's not surprising, because today political party identification is related to socioeconomic status, but 77% of Republicans today own a home, 64% of independents, and 57% of Democrats. That's about 20 points lower than home ownership among Republicans. That's an update for you on Americans' views of the housing situation in this country. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Gallup Editor-in-Chief.